online. Welcome to Forfellingness Belysning, illumination from the ancestors, guiding your path today.
Every day, someone's little girl, daughter, sister, girlfriend, fiancé, wife, cousin, mother, auntie, grandmother, great-grandmother, elder, disappears, shattering a family, a community, the world. There is something we can all do. Remember them.
Good morning, and I am so sorry for being late. Things just got out of whack this morning. So, as always, I am no more organized than anyone else in this world. So, I do apologize. Good morning, and welcome to Fulfillingness Belysning. And for all of you who have followed, and subscribed, thank you so much for sticking with me. And for those of you who haven't, now's the time. Great opportunity to do that. So thank you again so much for being a part of this morning show and certainly the message that we're passing. I also want to give a huge shout out to all of my friends and family at New Reality TV. NewRealityTV.com is a streaming channel dedicated to just a multitude of views and perspectives and understandings that hopefully can resonate with you and provide you with something to help you move forward in your evolution along your spiritual journey. So today we're embracing the strength of Thor. We're connecting to and being part of the strength of Thor and what he brings to our everyday existence. So let's talk a moment about that and kind of figure out how we can use that to better ourselves. So, as we know, Thor represents strength, but he not represents, well, to me, I should say, he represents not only a physical strength, a physical power, but certainly an intrinsic or a mental ability of focus and concentration. And that's really where I draw upon the strength of Thor in my everyday life. Thor represents the dedication of setting one's mind to a task, setting one's mind to freedom, and just being able to repel the constant, sometimes just the constant influential energies that are around us and bombarding us. Well, influential energies, as we've discussed before, are energies that are all around us that arrive in either the physical form or the spiritual form. So they're kind of attacking us from dual directions. When we think about influential energies attacking us from the physical side, of course, we're talking about things like advertising and marketing and persuasion and intimidation and many different aspects of physical life where extrinsic forces are producing an experience that attempts to alter our trajectory or our path in this life. So when we talk about even someone convincing us that something is not good for us, or we shouldn't go down that path or this path. They're trying to convince us, and they're going to use one of many different tools, right? Whether it be shame or guilt, or just flat, try to overwhelm you with facts, keep us kind of off our toes, right? So that's really influential energy that's coming in through our sensory input, whether it be through the written word, obviously, or actions, visuals that we're seeing, whether it be audibles, smells, sounds, tastes, and touches, obviously, always are producing an energy within, because once it comes into the sensory input, it's of course, converted to energy to transmit over the body, throughout the body, right? And so that's really kind of what it does, and in that way, it really attempts to derail using intrinsic energies, i.e. emotion, i.e. intellect, or imagery, to kind of convert that experience. So we've talked about the process of going through the mood ring down into the well of the self, into the horn of feeling, ultimately through the me gate on into memory. And all of those things are conduits for emotional energy to then alter the original experience. So the experience that we have may be very different by the time we actually experience it, so to speak, than what really occurred, just because of all this other additional energies that are being added along the way. In much the same way, our ancestors and other spiritual entities around us are attempting to do almost the same thing through our spiritual self at the same time. So they're trying to, our ancestors are coming to our aid and giving us guidance and wisdom and knowledge that can help us. There are other influential energies out there that are trying to distract and derail. Sometimes not intentionally. Sometimes they are simply broadcasting, and we just happen to pick it up, and it's it's completely random. But for the most part, those who are trying to convince us off our path, off where we want to go, are speaking on their own experiences. Remember, spiritual entities don't have new emotions. They simply rely on what emotions they had during a physical existence, or much like you would read in a novel or a book, they're kind of the superficial thing. Think of it as a child reading an emotional story, and how they would interpret the sadness and the happiness and God, if they've never experienced that, right? So they've never experienced frustration. They've never experienced maybe disappointment. In which case, they're reading it kind of at a very superficial level, right? So when we think about influential energies, we need to consider it coming from both sides, both from the spiritual realm and from the physical realm. Both equally valuable, both equally manipulating us, right? Changing us, altering us, attempting to alter us. This is why quite frequently, and it's probably a joke by now, or has been for a while rather, we have this aged-old thing of saying, oh, well, I'm going to get fit this year, and I'm going to make my New Year's resolutions in December, and by mid-January or maybe late January, they've already fallen by the wayside because we've just replaced it. So I am just as guilty. Bought a membership that I could go for walks. I could do walks around an indoor track. And I think I've probably used it, I don't know, maybe half a dozen times, just because, the influential energies that I have kind of pulled me off in other directions. So the same thing applies. I mean, no one is immune to this, by all means. I mean, we all subscribe to the same mental kind of function, focus. So it is what it is. But when we think about Thor today, we're thinking about this idea of mental strength, of mental fortitude, of holding our focus on that which we wish to manifest, right? That which we want to bring into fruition. So we're going to talk here after the break. We're going to talk about really manifesting things. How do we manifest things on this plane of reality? How do we bring that to fruition? And we're going to talk a little bit about focus, and we'll talk about the strength of Thor and how it comes into play here, and really being able to help us to sort out the chafe and get down to what it's going to take for us to be successful in whatever we're trying to do. So, but we're going to take a real quick break. We'll be right back, and when we come back, we will get after how we can use the example of Thor in our everyday, modern day life. Be right back.
The air. The time is now.
We're all waking up.
We're waking up.
We're all waking up.
It's all shifting.
New vibrations.
It's you.
It's you.
It's me.
It's all of us.
Together.
A new time.
A new day.
A new energy.
A new energy.
New reality.
Awaken with us.
Awaken with us.
Awaken with us.
NewRealityTV.com.
Welcome back. Thank you for taking that quick break with us, and I hope that you enjoyed it. As always, I cannot be more proud of my friends and family at New Reality TV, NewRealityTV.com, a collection of spiritual perspectives that offers almost everyone something that could resonate with them and help them along their evolutionary path. Today we're talking about the strength of Thor, and we're talking about focus and manifesting things in this reality. Now, a lot of people, and I've spoken with hundreds and hundreds of people, and everyone seems to think that casting a spell is this involved process of getting everything just right and doing everything just the way, and putting in the right herbs and the right spices and the right chants and the right, all the things, right? And that's really not what a spell is. If we go back and we read about the magic of the Norse, and we kind of embrace that understanding of what the magic of the Norse was, there was really two forms of magic to the Norse. One is probably the most popular, and it is probably the most spoken about, and that's seether magic. And seether magic is simply when I, the magician, verbalize a manifestation that I desire. So I'm going to verbalize it, and the spirits around me are going to help me to get enough energy to bring it to manifestation. So I'm calling on other spirits to provide additional energy to this request to manifest something. The second form of magic that I've been taught from the Norse is spakkraft. And spakkraft magic, we simply, the magician themselves contains enough energy. They don't rely on the spirits around us. They can generate and focus enough energy to bring something to manifestation, whatever that is, right? And then you have alterations of that. You have Galdr magic, where we were going to bring in more magicians, kind of centralize a larger, more powerful stream, and or another part of Galdr magic was this idea of using voice and sounds to produce additional energy to then bring something to manifestation. One of our big foes when talking about manifesting and sending this energy and focusing is the focus part, is concentration on bringing this to manifestation. And that's really where modern magicians really struggle, right? Now, those who practice magic and those who do magic and are successful at magic, more power to you. I bless you, and I am thankful for you, because you've learned to kind of sort out all the chaff and focus your energy to bring it to manifestation. Now, when we talk about focus, we're not talking about our conscious self. We're not talking about what we're consciously looking at. We're talking about what our mind is focused on. Okay? It's a little different than what we may be concentrating on at the time, although sometimes our conscious focus can interrupt our mental focus. All right, so we got a back focus and a forward focus. Think of it that way. So one of the major foes with this, as I mentioned, is distractions and influential energies that will draw away from the manifestation part. They're going to draw away our focus before we get to the manifestation part, right? So think of a spell, if you will, as being a cup, right? A horn, a drinking horn, and we are filling it with energy, and then we turn, right? So we turn and take the cup with us, and so the rest of the energy kind of pours on the ground. This is kind of the same idea when we talk about distractions, is we're talking about taking away our buildup of this energy, and we're just going to move it, right? And so we're going to lose the rest of that energy. So this is really the idea behind focusing and using, as again, an example of the strength of Thor, to deny those influential energies, those distractions, and focus on what we're bringing the spell to fruition. Now, as I was mentioning before, incanting a spell is not this super detailed thing. Okay, it's not everything that many people seem to think it is, right? A spell can be as simplistic as I hope the coffee maker works today. And so I get up and I'm thinking about the coffee maker. I'm thinking about a cup of coffee, right? So I'm drilling in. I'm focusing energy. There's nothing, I don't have to do any song or dance or anything like that. I simply have to, focus on the coffee maker. And lo and behold, if it's a quality of decent quality anyway, the coffee maker will do what the coffee maker does, right? We've incanted a spell to protect, maybe the power from going out, the coffee maker to actually work properly. All of these things are going to be part of this incanted spell that we've just done. Even though we haven't done this big to-do, we nonetheless have incanted a spell, and that's the idea here, right? Is that we're just incanting spells in our everyday breath. I hope this happens. I want this to happen. I want this. I want that. I need to steer clear of that. All of these are spells that we are simply verbalizing. If we're not verbalizing, that's a reduction in the energy. But if we verbalize it and we say, I really want my mom to be safe, I really want my mom to be healthy, now we've incanted that spell out, right? So that's out in the wild. And this is where the spiritual entities around us, including the deities, can provide that incanted spell with energy. So it comes to fruition. All right? So when we are thinking about incanting spell, when we're thinking about focus, let's think about the strength of Thor and beating back those influential energies that would attempt to derail us, distract us, and focus and maintain our focus on that which we are seeking, whatever that is Okay? So when we're praying, when we're meditating, we're focused on whatever it is, and we're going to consciously work at moving away those influences, those distractions. We're going to move those away, and we're going to focus on that which we're looking for. So again, I apologize for being late today. We'll get after it again tomorrow. The website's still under construction. We're still working on it, having some hiccups along the way, but it's on its way. You're welcome to check out norsewisdom.com, and there will be a button that actually directs you to the website as it stands right now. But again, we're putting more together as we go, and so hopefully we'll get some work done today and bring it to fruition. So don't hesitate. As always, you can always email me at shaman@akoutlaw.com. There you can actually ask questions, make it happen. If you visit the website, all the way at the bottom to the left is still the big orange button. You can ask a question there or reach out to me, and we'll happily get back in touch and make some contact and open some dialogue, hopefully giving you what you need to feel successful. Remember, you are a gift. You are a blessing. You are the most wonderful, most awesome things your ancestors could have ever imagined. So act it. So be that. Embrace that. And again, enjoy Thor's Day today. We will see you again tomorrow when we will embrace the energy of Freya. And hopefully we'll be on time tomorrow, and we'll be able to get that done. So have a wonderful Thor's Day, and we will see you again tomorrow for Freya's Day. Love and light, my friends.
Watching Fulfillingness Belysning, a special production of Whispers of the Norse. Brought to you by the Alaska akulfhednar in South Central Alaska. Guidance and wisdom, courtesy of an ancient Celtic Norse shaman. Thank you so much for joining us today.